Jared Polin, FroKnowsPhoto.com, and welcome to RAWtalk episode reboot. From where we are all at, we've got Steven here.
Hi.
And we've got Jared here. Oh wait, it looks like there's somebody in the waiting room. Hold on, let's see who's in the waiting room. Let's admit them. Uh-oh. Could that
be?
What?
Hi.
Oh, hey, hi Todd. Welcome to RAWtalk, everybody. This is
What's RAWtalk?
We are locked at home in our places. Steven, where are you again?
I am in New Jersey.
Todd, where are you at?
I'll be there. I'm in Philadelphia.
Which part of you're West Philly, right?
Yeah, I'm in West Philly.
Born
I'm in
and
the
raised.
basement.
And I'm in Fishy Town still.
It's good to see you guys.
So much has changed in so little time.
Jeez.
So I'm gonna go down our list of different things that we have to talk about today. We'll probably try to stay on for about an hour, roughly, doing the RAWtalk style that we normally do or used to do. Obviously, we don't have the round table here, and the round table's been moved into the kitchen over at the factory anyway. It's no longer set up upstairs. So an update from us on the FroKnowsPhoto side is Steven's working from home. Oh, geez. Did anybody check to see if Dan has a microphone yet?
Dan?
Daniel?
Nope. Dan does not have a microphone. He still doesn't have a microphone. Dan is in Philly also. He's not too far from where I am at.
I'm not too far from the office, guys.
Yeah,
right there.
He's working from home. Occasionally, he and I will meet there and keep our distance and record a photo news fix. He put gloves on the other day.
I love working with you like that, keeping my distance from you.
It's
been doing that for about 6 months, right? 9 months?
It's got to be tough for him, too, because he's dealing with little Dan home right now because the daycare is obviously closed, and Anna, his wife, is considered an essential employee, so she's going to and from work, and it's tough trying to edit, too, at the same time.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, so for me, it was that day that they said that we're going to shut Philly down tomorrow. I basically was at the factory packing a to-go bag with stuff that I thought I would need to film. And I've gone back like 4 times since then because obviously it's not like you're not allowed outside. We can, exercise down to the factory or scoot down to the factory or drive down to the factory because it's, the factory. There's nobody else there. It's either just me or Dan's in there doing stuff. So I grabbed a whole bunch of stuff, brought it back here so that I can film. That's why I have the stuff behind me, multiple cameras, multiple lights, all those different things, and my laptop and the new display that I'm using.
And we've thankfully gotten by for the most part with you filming there, and we all have pretty fast internet, minus Dan for the most part. It only is upload speed, but yeah, we can upload to Dropbox, download it from here, edit, and everything's still kind of churning, which thankfully it is. Yeah,
I did get a new lens in the mail. I don't know why I'm pointing over here because it's right down there. We can talk about that gear stuff later. Todd, how you been holding up under these circumstances?
Yeah, good. Probably about the same time. I've been out at an agency outside the city running their video department. And just over all of a sudden Friday we left and we're like, yeah, we'll see what happens. And then all of a sudden they were like, yeah, don't come in on Monday. And I was like, well, guys, the whole agency's got laptops except me. So I was like, guys, I need the iMac. So I went and got the iMac and brought that back.
You took an iMac Pro home?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
that's what I did too.
Don't you wish you had? Yeah, Steven got to take his iMac Pro home.
Yeah, I mean, it's just tough to merge your existing home system with that system. It was a pain in the butt for a minute.
Well, yeah. So I'll tell you what has been awesome for me is a year ago I switched over to having just a laptop. I had the 15-inch MacBook Pro, and then Apple came out with the 16, and I have a loaner still of it, and so I've been using that at the factory, and then I can bring that home and still have all of my files with me. The only thing I was missing at home was a monitor, and ViewSonic sent a monitor. It's a 38-inch ultra wide. It's a curved ultra wide screen, so it's 38 inches diagonal. And I thought I didn't know how I would react to curved. And this isn't sponsored by them, this part. There's going to actually be a sponsored video later on that I have to record. But the moral of the story is I had to like the thing before I would, make a sponsored video, because that's how it works.
Yeah.
But I actually love having all the 38-inch diagonal to choose from. Like, it's
Nice.
a ton of real estate. So what I love is that I can plug in through USB-C and just plug in, and it charges my laptop, because I forgot the charger at the office and I was like, screw this, but it charged and I got it. So it's been awesome having one system, but I know you need to edit heavier stuff, so you need like a bigger system.
So you guys are pared down to just shooting, you go and you just shoot the news, or like, how are you paring down? Because I know for me personally, I had multiple things. Like I would have probably been I was going to be in Vegas in June. I was supposed to be somewhere actually this week, and I'm forgetting where it is now, but all that stuff got pushed off. So how are you guys tackling filming stuff?
Well, Steven's working on a long-term project, which Bernie Sanders documentary, the mini Bernie Sanders documentary.
Right.
Which
Spoiler,
we filmed.
He doesn't win.
Yeah, I was thinking we've got to, I think there's going to be, I'll probably add more work to the end of it, just like, because I went back out on the road a couple more times without Steven, and I think like a wrap up to the show would probably be like useful. Like, it's unfortunate he didn't. I'm not going to be that photographer guy, but I also got all these great images, so on and so forth. So that's what Steven's been focused on for a while. Dan has been taking on the other videos that I'm filming here. So I can set up and film a critique. That's easy. I did a real estate video on how to shoot real estate photos of your interior. So I filmed all that myself. I filmed the B-roll, and then I uploaded it to Dropbox for Dan to edit. I did another project that I started, which is scanning these slides from 1956 and 1954 and 1962.
I saw that on your story. Yeah, that's dope.
Yeah, really cool stuff right there.
Digitizing all of that. So I did a whole video, and I have to do the B-roll. Usually Steven films all the B-roll, and I'm like, are you done yet? Because
now you know how long it takes. Why it takes so long.
I spent close to 2 hours doing B-roll of the pickups that I needed of just the slide table. So I'm like, well, let's put the slide here on top of the carrier and then pan from the Kodachrome slide over to the Ektachrome slide. And it's a really cool shot because it looks like I'm on a slider, but I'm really not. but I used, so I'm filming mostly with the Z6s, but I went back to the factory to get the EOS R because there is nothing, in my opinion, that beats using the dual pixel AF to touch the screen, to move the focusing points and have it be cinematic. That helped me do B-roll so much.
And what about news? You're not doing news right now? That's on hold?
No, we're doing news. Luckily, we did April 1st. So April Fool's fell on Wednesday, which is a fixed day. There were news stories for this week. So I wrote the news, met Dan over at the factory. He made himself a mask and put it on. And then we film and we stay, more than 6 feet away from each other. And then he takes the files. So that's the only time that Dan and I have been interacting, is going to the factory to film the fix. I could probably do it myself. It would just be a little more difficult. I'd have to turn on the wireless connection to focus on my face, hit record, and then worry about the screen. My teleprompter. I can't really screw up, and I have nobody else to yell at when I'm there.
I think I just fear that we're going to end up running out of news, in the next few weeks. I think there's not going to be as many stories available.
Well,
obviously with what's going on.
Steven, we're not allowed to say stuff about anything.
Steven. I didn't say anything.
No, I know. I'm just saying that we know stuff. So I think there's going to be news. Todd doesn't even know about that news.
Mm-hmm.
Jared's pregnant. You're welcome. Spoiler. No, I was going to bring up just about this transition period now is
you're transitioning?
Yes, that's my news. No, just this whole, we're using a lot of stock footage and a lot of stock video and a lot of stock, just to kind of fill in the gaps now, because there are all these businesses, they still need social videos and commercials and all that. I mean, I'm sure you immediately saw like Ford has different commercials now that use stock they already have. And they basically get their VO guy to cut something new from home. That's kind of where agency work is at this point. Like, we're just pulling a lot of stock images and trying to make the best we can, make lemons out of lemonade here.
And you got to keep everybody working.
Or have talent actually shoot their own stuff. The Boise Boys that are on, was it TLC or one of those home improvement channels? We're doing a promotion with them. they do like flip houses in Boise, Idaho. I would have been in Boise. That's where I would have been.
In Boise?
But they shot their own stuff, and I had to cut it together. So,
well, it's also interesting watching John Oliver on a Sunday night recording from his home and nailing it, because it's just, even though it's pared down, it still works.
Well, I was going to mention, I'm curious how the production quality in general for TV or whatever it may be in the next coming weeks, or when we come out of this, if it'll go down in quality, because people don't really seem to be too concerned with seeing someone from a webcam on TV, and like Jimmy Fallon or whoever, John Oliver, like you're saying. I just watched E! News yesterday, and there was someone recording from their bedroom with a webcam. Now, they still had all the fancy graphics and everything sliding on the screen, but audio was terrible and everything. But does it really matter?
I'll tell you who wasn't hurt, though. Editors in the midst of all this. Editors are not hurt much at all, unless just projects dry up. But you can do everything from home at this point.
Yeah,
What's funny to me, though, is watching the Daily Show, and seeing them. They were doing more straight ahead Daily Show editing, and I've watched it recently, and they're doing more like a YouTube, like pushing into their shots, like doing like reactionary shots, and they're doing more like YouTube vlog style now, which is really interesting to me. Like they're utilizing editing techniques from YouTube in this kind of like new format.
Yeah, and I think a lot's going to change coming out of it. Also, the question is, do places like Netflix and Amazon, are they going to then, when we do get out onto the other side of this and they start productions, are they going to ramp up to have a lot more productions going?
There's going to definitely be a drought. I mean, in about 3 months or so, there's going to be stuff that just right now, I think, what something just finished shooting, something in the Marvel Cinema universe, something like that, finished shooting like the week before everything shut down. But at some point in the next few months, everything that's in post-production is gone. And there's going to be no available content.
Well, and what was it? Was it The Walking Dead that they scrapped the end of this season because they couldn't finish editing it or something like that? I think they ended on a different episode or something.
I mean, I would assume I stopped watching, but I would assume that they got caught up in like production got cut in the middle of it, so they just finished what they had in the can, and then they'll just have to wait moving forward, and then see how the real Walking Dead actually ends.
Scary.
So I've got we're going to go to the next section in just a second, but we got to feed Morgan. We are doing, if you're looking to edit video from home, to learn how to edit video, we have a code for $100 off the FroKnowsPhoto Guide to Video Editing, which is featuring Todd in about 12. No, Todd's in it. Todd teaches a lot in it. So if you go to bit.ly/FroVEdit, and then use the code FroVEdit, you will get $100 off at checkout. So, Steven, you know that I've got bit.ly/thanksfro2, bit.ly/thanksfro, that one, then bit.ly/thanksfro2 takes people to get to the beginner guide, and thanksfro3 takes you to the flash guide. I typed in 4. Do you know where it takes you, Todd? I typed in bit.ly.com/thanksfro4. You want to know where it goes?
I can't wait.
I accidentally typed 4. It took me to Pornhub.
Yes.
They must have. We now have. I'm going to test that after. Todd, check on your phone right now if that's what it does. bit.ly, bit.ly/thanksfro4. See if it launches that, because I was surprised as hell because I wanted to see where 4 went. Because usually it would just go, this doesn't exist.
Right. I just bet someone beat you to the punch and they knew you were going to obviously do 4 after 2 and 3.
So bit.ly.
bit.ly. No .com. bit.ly /thanksfro4.
All lowercase?
Yes. It's probably
just take your time.
Yeah.
You're welcome, by the way. What is Pornhub? I've never seen this, though.
It did load that? Somebody must have done that on purpose.
What kind of website is that?
I don't know. Whoever did that, bravo. Bravo. And I actually wish I would have done it.
So, Todd, you had the pleasure of
stealing number 4 for Bitling.
Writing a movie, filming a movie, financing a movie, finishing a movie, I think.
Yep.
Why don't you tell everybody what you did?
So if anybody follows me on my social media, you
They
might have
don't,
seen
so
that.
fill them in.
I wrote a movie called We Need to Talk about a video game YouTuber who needs to figure out how to talk to people in his life because he's an asshole.
Sounds familiar.
It's weird. It's got it's got a couple people in it. Got James Maslow from Big Time Rush, Jonathan Fernandez from Lethal Weapon. He actually just got picked up in that reboot of the Gossip Girls on HBO. Crystal Khalil, Trey Chaney from The Wire, and Emily Bett Records from Arrow and the whole CW stuff.
Can you talk about when you called me out of nowhere and asked to go to lunch?
Oh, yeah. But well, I guess we can talk about it. Anyway, if you want to know,
what can't we talk about?
We can talk about just about anything. I mean, basically, the idea for the whole movie came about. I thought of the title, We Need to Talk, a long time ago, that I was like, oh, that's funny. And whatever they talk about, she wants to talk about should be nothing or something stupid or whatever. And it just sat in my brain for years. I never really thought of anything. And then at one point I was like, oh, all this YouTube stuff with Jared and things that I deal with Morgan and just different YouTube stuff. I'm like, this is all ridiculous shit that should be on camera. And then
it's a crazy world.
Then I also was and then I was also just considering the video game stuff that I do. When I'd be editing the editing guide, when I'd render stuff out, I'd sit here and play video games, and you'd be shocked at who's on, playing games at Tuesday on a 2 p.m. I mean, everybody now, but when it's not quarantine, there's a lot of weirdos playing at 2 o'clock in the afternoon. So I thought that would be a great movie too. And eventually just one day it hit me. I was like, holy shit, I'll just put all of it together and kind of, and do that. And I wrote it in like 2 months, but I will say I was heavily influenced by one, YouTuber, pretty much that, there's some inspiration there. Although Jared hasn't had a girlfriend for 10 years, so that's definitely fictional.
Well, so I read the script, or Todd takes me out to lunch, and I guess he's worried about. He's like, so
yeah. Well, what happened is, all right. So I write the script. A buddy of mine, I sent it to a couple filmmaker guys.
Steven, Todd actually paid for lunch.
What?
Oh, I did.
That's a first.
I did. Hey, but I sent it out to people. And I let people read it. And they're like, oh, yeah, well, this is cheap. And I wrote it on the cheap. I knew it would be like almost like a Clerks. Like it happens mostly in one place. It would be inexpensive, blah, blah, blah. Around Thanksgiving, I get an email from my buddy. And he's like, hey, man, send me the script for Adultland. An executive producer I know is looking to make a movie next year. I said, done. Boom. I said, but here's We Need to Talk as well. Week later, they're like, yeah, we want to make We Need to Talk. And then 3 months later, we were basically in pre-production. Well, whereas like Adultland, I've been trying to get off the ground for years, and this happened in this. From writing it to pre-production was probably less than 9 months.
I look.
So with that being said, as soon as I realized, like, holy shit, god damn it, I'm actually gonna make this movie. Shit, let me talk to Jared about this because he might find some similarity. He might see some familiar things in this,
just a little bit.
Well,
and.
Well, for the original logo I saw for the game.
Well, describe the character real quick, and then I think people will understand more.
Yeah, I mean, this guy stays at home all day, plays video games and streams, and the world revolves around him. He wears a T-shirt with his face on it. That looks kind of
same shirt every day.
Looks like that. And
we hold it back up, Todd, and talk because we need to auto switch back to you.
Which this logo. It was circular at one point. And by the way, our boy Sanchez drew that.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. Our boy,
shout out.
Yeah. He drew that. And then, I had a designer look at it and I tried to make it circular like somebody else's logo. And he was like, it just didn't work. And he made it that way. And I was like, that's actually better.
Yeah.
But,
so
anyway, I took Jared out and I was like, so, I'm going to make a movie about, and he's like, yeah, I already read it. I was like, oh.
Yeah. I'm like, it's it's me mostly. The guy wears the same shirt every day, and he orders the same food every day. And I mean, the only difference was he had a girlfriend for 10 years and I didn't. And his muscles weren't as big as mine in
Definitely
real life.
way bigger, his muscles.
Well, and you know what I would say is I definitely took inspiration from some of the most, obviously almost eccentric things about you. So, but then I just put it into somebody different. There are things that I pulled from my own personal life, not all of us not listening to our significant other, and work is more important than the people that we care for and all that. We all get hung up in that. And that's kind of like it. When you watch this movie, when I watch it now and I'm sitting with my wife, it makes me feel guilty because I'm like, yeah, I'm an asshole like this as well. So
where's the setting take place? 90% of the movie
in his apartment. So in his apartment, 90%
what does that apartment look like?
I mean, it's kind of inspired by a little bit of yours, but it's like any hipster loft, like any bullshit hipster like you, with the brick and things, but
and the egg chair,
way cooler. Oh well, yeah, the egg chair came late in the game though. I didn't think about that. You suggested it, and then my production designer went crazy about it. But.
Yeah, and then what about the painting of the guy of himself?
Oh yeah. Yeah. Oh yeah. So anyways, we get the green light and we get money. So you hire a crew, and one of the most important guys, a guy named Tim Stevens, he was my production designer, who basically helps me create all the art and design prop and everything that you see on camera that isn't a person. He has a hand in. So once we started that, we started going down this road of like, okay, what would he have? And I was like, okay, he would have plaques. And I was like, and he'd have this, he'd have all this gaming stuff. Obviously, he's not a photographer, he's a video gamer. So he's got all this gaming stuff, which a lot of it ended up coming from my house. But I was like, yeah, this asshole definitely needs like a life-size painting of himself. Oh shit, hold on.
Oh, do you have it?
Yeah, so
That's great.
When I saw this, I was like, he's just copying my whole life.
Yes. No. Yes.
Wait, hold on, Todd. You got to show it now. You got to talk and then show it so the camera switches to you.
Oh. It's right here. I don't know how much you can hear me. I'm away from the microphone, but...
Man, what pretentious douche has a painting of himself?
All right.
I know, right?
So I do have a question about this section, Todd.
Yeah.
So how do you get it out into the world? What's next?
Well, we did test screenings, and we were going to do more before all this happened. You guys were at one of the later ones. We did test screenings with some video game conglomerates locally. There's a place called Nerd Street Gaming that we did a big screening for that went really well. But right now we're just kind of like, it's being colored now. It's going to go to sound next. The video games that they actually play are being created by 2 different video game companies that we're going to swap out the temporary footage for. But currently there's screeners out to about a dozen different distributors, and we've had about 3 or 4 offers already. So
well, you would think that the Netflixes of the world right now would be wanting stuff
all over it. Yeah.
Yeah, I hate to put any kind of silver lining on what's happening, but I will say, like, there's going to be a content drought that, hopefully we can fill. I mean, look, the movie is silly, it's comedic, it's stupid, it's heartfelt.
It's all right.
Maybe it'll be an escape for people. I don't know.
Yeah. Well, cool. Figured we'd update people.
Though, man. That's it's a big feat, to get all that accomplished.
When I think about it,
really
man, I can't even believe it happened. Thank you, man. So you guys dug it, though? You guys saw it.
Yeah.
So
that was great.
I don't know if I'd go that far.
Well, But I would certainly check.
I smiled through a lot of it because it was kind of funny when you'd see certain things and I'd be like, oh, yeah, now I see it finally cut together.
Well, and I would say anybody that's been watching your channel for any amount of time, especially with old Raw Talks, and there's certain things that and there's definitely Easter eggs in the whole fucking movie.
Oh, yeah.
The whole movie starts with
I Shoot Raw.
I Shoot Raw being shown.
You're welcome.
My question is, how did you cast Steven's character?
Oh,
They
it was
don't.
easy.
They don't look like each other.
Yeah.
What do you mean?
No. Well, Jonathan, who is a black dude. Yeah. No, I mean, I'll be honest. That character was kind of a combination of Steven and myself and Dan, and it's just everybody. Like nobody is an exact duplicate of anybody else.
Yeah.
I kind of pick and choose everything, but I will say the coolest thing about this whole process is you know, I used a casting director that I used for Adultland for this, and then I started getting all these tapes with video links. And the fact that James sent the most professional, high quality, kick-ass audition tape was amazing. And then Jonathan, who plays the producer, predator, shooter, editor, he crushed. And I was just like, holy shit. Like, I wasn't imagining him to be that or this person, but I was like, because I was imagining some, you know,
Nerd,
twirly hipster with a mustache twirled up, you know, walking around Fishtown. And he smashed that and made it way cooler than I ever thought it was going to be. And I don't know. I'm excited for people to see it. I'm actually excited to be fucking done with it because
that's the other thing is it's like a year-long project from start to finish, and it's one piece of content.
It really is. And I'll tell you what, man. What I guess I kind of knew, but I didn't realize how much difficult it was going to be. Like every screen in this movie is a green screen and had to be replaced. And it was just a massive undertaking. Shout out to Brian. He's the visual effects guy that helps me out on this. And it's unbelievable that he's done what he's done to be able to like swap out the screens, retain reflections, and have things happen.
Let me explain that to people. So what Todd means is like the TV screen in the background that's showing the video game is actually a green screen, and then somebody has to put the graphics on it. Or when the phone is being held and you have a shot of the phone, then the graphics are there. And you honestly, it's seamless. You can't tell that it was a green screen at all.
Yeah, it was amazing. It was amazing. But and I guess I'll end with the fact that the trailer should be out in a few weeks. So they're color correcting that now and mixing the sound on that. So at least we can see that sooner than later. And then I'm hoping people will be able to see it this year for sure, streaming somewhere. As far as festivals, we'll see what happens, but you'll be able to see it at home, hopefully.
And real quick, Todd, you cut everything yourself? Were you also pretty much the main editor for this?
Yeah, I mean, I had a few assistant editors at the production company that would do rough cuts of the scenes for me, and then they would send me assembles, and then I would go in and fine tune, and then I would assemble the full thing. So I kind of had the final say, and then I would spit out stuff to the visual effects guy. Some stuff I would create, some stuff he would create. So it's been it's been a heavy lift. It's been tough. And all this time, I mean, it's been nights and weekends. So I'm working, 40 hours at the agency, editing all day, shooting all day, and then coming home and editing all day and editing all weekend. So I can't wait for this to be done.
So you must love editing
start the next
right now.
one.
No, I do not.
All right. Let's move on to a little bit of some photo news or gear discussion for a little bit, and then we've got some other things to talk about in general. R5. Let's talk about R5, Steven, because you are a 5D Mark IV shooter.
I've been Canon for
waiting
the past 13 years at this point.
Same.
Yeah.
So you think the R5, based off of the specs that they've released, is your mirrorless camera?
Yes. I've been waiting for something on the Canon side to switch. I mean, I was also very close to switching to Sony, but I would have to sell all of my lenses, which I've got 6-7 of them at this point.
Yep.
And they're all EF, so who knows how much I would get for them. But yeah, I've been waiting for the camera, for Canon to release the next 5D Mark II, the next revolutionary camera, the jack of all trades, and I think it's finally here with the R5.
So you really feel that, Steven?
I do. Well, again, just based solely on the rumored specs and then what we know from the confirmed specs. If the rumored specs, which so far 75% of it is true, if that's all factual, then yeah, I think this is the camera for me. Everything from high megapixel, fast frame rate, crazy resolution for video, hopefully high-end video features as well, like zebra lines and all of that. We'll see.
And I saw potentially no crop in video?
Not potentially. That's confirmed. That has been confirmed from Canon. Full frame 8K. Yeah, full frame 8K with dual pixel autofocus, which all of this we said, they're going to cripple it in some way. They're going to say it's 8K as a marketing term, but it's not going to be able to do anything. So now the fact that it does 8K with all the bells and whistles, I'm super stoked about it. And, I'm probably going to use it more as a photo camera than a video camera, but it's just good to know it's future proof, where the 5D Mark IV came out and it was already outdated the second it, hit the market. So
right. If the features are fantastic, it's possible that our Z6s that we have on long-term loaner from Nikon may end up being replaced by Canons, because Canon's got all the glass. I mean, sitting over here, I brought home the 85-1.2, the 50-1.2, the 15-35 2.8, the 24-70 2.8, the 35 macro, which is the cheapest of all, but it worked. It did the B-roll for me. Like, for video, it may be the option because it has the CF Express cards. Todd, I don't know if you've experienced CF. Hey, Jared, get in focus.
I don't remember though. Did they confirm which card slots they were? Or did they just confirm two? I think it's rumored, right, for the CF Express?
I don't remember if it's rumored or not. I mean,
I don't remember either. I thought it was just rumored that it was CF Express, but anyway,
you
it's probably going to
think
be for 8K.
If it's 8K and it's doing video, it's not going to be the SD cards. Certainly not going to be
they would
fast
explode.
enough.
They'd turn into lava.
So I've got the Pro Grade CF Express and SD card reader here, and then at the factory, I've got the CF Express Thunderbolt 3 card reader, which is like 4 times the size of this. It's massive. The speeds are stupid. You can get up to like 5 gigabytes a second transfer on that thing, and so it's just. That's going to revolutionize video transfer. You're getting all this data, but now you have a way to actually throughput it to the computer super fast.
Well, what do you think, Steven? Would this be your choice of video? I mean, I have a soft spot for Canon video no matter what.
So. Yeah, because you're always out of focus using that 24 to 72.8. No wonder why you have a soft spot.
It's the one thing with the Z6 is I absolutely love the color, the tones, the quality in general out of the 4K we get, the no pixel binning, but the autofocus is still pretty rough.
It's a challenge.
It's a challenge, especially in video mode or in low contrast situations and all that. So with the Canon dual pixel, you can always rely on. You also get that really cinematic pull where it's a very slow rack instead of that jerky, herky-jerky stuff going on. And the other thing is just the resolution. With 8K, we can actually shoot full 8K, crop in, still get 2 angles out of it, and still export 4K without any loss of quality, where right now we're shooting 4K, we're editing in a 1080 timeline, cutting back and forth between 2 angles and punching in, and then upscaling to 4K, which obviously you're going to lose a lot of quality out of that, but it still looks a little better than just doing standard 1080. So I'm excited for that as well. What I'm not excited is for the size of the freaking files, or we don't know the codec yet. We don't know, is it going to be bloated again?
5 gigs a second.
Oh, I know. How are the computers going to handle the rate? I think, what is it, 2 gigabits per second or something they were saying as the data rate, or rumoring it or something like that, which...
Wow. Look, even if it does, if it does like 4K 120, do we know this? Do we know the stats on that yet?
No, 4K 120 is what's rumored. That's not confirmed. But if you think about it, if it does 8K 30, it should be able to do 4 simultaneous 4K streams, 30p. You add that up, that's 4K 120. So
that'd be pretty cool.
You would think it does. But will it be hindered and not have autofocus, because Canon has really never had autofocus in the slow motion frame rates except for the 1DX.
Well, I also want people to understand that the video features are cool and all, but we do care. I care personally for most things. I give a shit more about the photo features than anything. Sure. But the reason we talk about video so much is because we are shooting videos about what we're talking about with photography. So it's like, for us, that's what we do. And so, if it does 12 frames a second mechanical shutter and 20 frames per second silent, I mean, that's like saying to Sony, like, here's Sony, here's a big FU. Like, we're putting all this into one camera, but we don't know the photo features yet.
Well, I mean, look, I've made a living shooting video with these cameras out of focus. I mean, yeah, we use the Arri Alexa Mini for the movie, but But exactly. But I mean, look, I made a living out of it. I mean, we have Sonys at the office. We have A7s at the office. And I literally just got approved to purchase more bodies and glass, whatever we need. And this makes me kind of wonder, like, do I just wait? I would love to kind of be back in the Canon realm.
Oh, I'd wait, man. I'd wait because Sony hasn't come out with an A7 IV. They haven't come out with the, A7S II, like those DSLR styles. But we can also expect to see from Canon at some point. I mean, I know there's rumors out there right now that they're going to go to RF video cameras. The latest rumor is that the C100 may be replaced by was it RX, Steven, or RC? What was it? RX.
XC?
Remember the
XC10?
XC. Yeah, like an XC style body with an RF mount. If that thing has like a full frame sensor and can do stuff, I mean, the RF glass is so freaking good. And beyond that, even if you don't have RF glass, you just put the damn adapter on and you're doing great work.
Yeah, well, you need an adapter for all our lenses for this, Steven?
Well,
have they said that?
Well, if you're doing EF, if you're still using EF lenses, you'll still need an adapter for that, just like the Canon EOS R and the RP. But I mean, at this point, I think they have a lot of the glass available. Yeah, just like that. They have a lot of the glass available.
I have one of those already. Yeah.
They have all the glass available already for the RF mount. So, and what I'm most excited about is that holy trinity now being F2. If they have the 20 to 70 F2 right now, they're rumoring 14 to 28 F2, and then I assume a 70 to 200 or 180 or whatever
70 to
F2.
180 maybe.
That would be incredible. Although I can't imagine the price of the 70 to 200 F2. That's got to be like $6,000.
Hey, Todd, how much was that case of glass that what's his name brought to the set?
Oh, the Cook lenses.
Oh, the Cook
Yeah.
S4s or whatever they were. 150,000.
Wow.
At least for that.
Man, at least. Jeez.
And you're probably talking about 8 lenses there, maybe 6, maybe.
I loved seeing Todd sit in the director's chair because I was on set doing stills, and it was great. So Todd would be like, "Nailed it, got it, move on," and then they'd be like, let's do this again. And Todd was like, "All right, let's do it again."
Who would say do it again?
I was there for that one too. That
it
was
wasn't
funny.
do it again. It was just like
Todd's
nope,
like,
we
all
need
right,
to do
we got
this.
that. Let's wrap it up. They're like, no, let's get a safety shot. You're like, yep, let's get one more.
Usually, somebody would whisper to me, somebody misfocused or something like that.
Yeah,
so,
yeah.
And you always hate that with actors, as you know. That's the hardest part. Is
real
the
quick,
Somebody
Todd,
missing focus?
Were there any scenes that you're like, oh, that was it, that was the take, and something happened, like they forgot to hit record or miss focus or anything?
No, and I'll be honest, my whole entire editing of it, I saw maybe 2 shots that got buzzed out of all of them. The guy's name was it's Bogus. His last name is Bogus. Bogus on Focus.
Bogus focus.
And he was great. No, it was a small ragtag group, but focus is everything. And going back to that damn R5, that's where that dual pixel autofocus is going to be huge.
And I'm stoked on the photography standpoint. Return of the joystick, return of the scroll wheel, all this stuff we're used to. Although I do wish, Jared, that they had the smart controller like the 1DX Mark III, because that thing is awesome.
Yeah, so I've got right here, this came in the mail this morning. This is the Tamron
exclusive
70 to 180 for Sony. Exclusive. And I expected it to be smaller than this, to be honest with you. And look at this, Steven. It extends. So it's just like, I don't get it. Like, I don't get it. I'd rather have a 200 millimeter, or have this be smaller. But that's what they came up with.
So, Jared, does that extend as much as the RF 70 to 200?
No.
Or is it still a little shorter?
No, this is a little shorter. This is like what the Moyle tried to take off, and it like hid in its shell, and then it was like, "Ooh, look."
So the question is, how are you going to test that out with what's going on in the world right now?
Well, I've got a cat, and I could go outside and probably have somebody with their dog run around or something, and in the park. I know some people around the corner
trash
that have
day.
a dog.
You can get the guys picking up trash on trash day.
Speaking of dogs, Steven,
makes for some great photos.
I meant to ask you about your dog.
What about him?
You got a dog.
Oh, well, yeah, everyone knows. I think I got. Oh, actually, no.
well,
it's been Oh, geez. A lot's happened for me. I moved into a new house, got a dog.
What else?
Got engaged. Last time we did a RAWtalk was, a year and a half ago, I think. We stopped right when the mirrorless wars started happening. So I think before the EOS R came out in August, I think. And yeah, a lot has happened in my personal life that has led me here to my new house, and got engaged to my long-term girlfriend. Proposed to her actually last week during this whole mess. I had obviously a lot of different plans.
Were you going to do something spectacular?
I was going to. We were going to have a big party and all kinds of stuff, all our friends and family over, and couldn't do that with the social distancing going on. So I ended up... we celebrated our 1-year anniversary in the house last week on March 29th, and I wanted it to be a memorable date, so I decided to pop the question then. And I was training Chip, my dog, for the past few weeks to hold the actual ring, the
Except
case,
he ate it.
the box, and to not eat it. So luckily, I popped the box in his mouth, kept the ring myself just in case, and he jumped on bed and gave my girlfriend the box, and I proposed.
What'd she say?
She said yes. Yeah, everything worked out great, and I wish we could have had a party. I wish she could have seen her friends, her family. I mean, even her parents. Like, we really can't even go over there. So we, luckily with Zoom, this incredible software, we can still stay connected with everybody and say hi and show them the ring and all of that. So it's still been good.
Well, congrats, brother.
Thank you. Yeah. I got the ring actually in January, I ordered it in January. It didn't come until the end of February, and then I was sitting on it, and then this whole thing happened, and all my plans went out the window.
Well,
and I didn't want to wait any longer. So
Yeah.
Were you worried like that she'd run away because you're all locked down, that she'd find someone else?
No, she can't get away now.
Exactly.
That was his plan.
That was my plan. There's nothing. There's nowhere
you
to
said
go.
no? Where are you going to go? Where are you going to go?
Exactly. Yeah.
All right. I'm going to move on to the next section,
Cool.
which is more of the entertainment stuff, which is like, since we're on lockdown, what types of movies have you been watching? TV shows? What do you recommend? What haven't you seen? I'll kick it off and say that I finally got to watch, I rented Star Wars. And what was stupid is Star Wars was doing the thing like, you can rent it in 3 months. It would be like, screw you. Like, just make everything available now. We're all at home. Make the money. So I watched Star Wars. I actually liked it. I thought it was good.
Yeah, I liked it a lot, too. I actually saw that. That's probably the last thing I saw in theaters.
Same here. One of the last movies I saw in the movie theater. And I think it was personally one of the best new Star Wars movies. I know there was a lot of people were hit or miss on that, but for me, I really enjoyed it.
It was busy. It's a lot going on.
Yeah.
But yeah, I like it. I liked it.
But I thought it was pretty cool. Now I did, because we're sitting around a lot, I prefer watching episodes of shows now. I prefer that over movies. But I saw that Jay and Silent Bob's reboot was on Amazon. That is a piece of shit. that is the worst piece of garbage that I was like, yeah, well,
I actually bought it. I bought it just to support him.
Clerks 2 was funny as hell. We use clips from it all the time, but Jay and Silent Bob was funny, the first one. This was like, one, I don't understand what happened to Jay Muyu's teeth. Like, it's like he has dentures now from all the drug use in the past, but it's just like they were trying super hard to be funny, and it wasn't funny.
I'm trying to think what I saw. I'm trying to think of something positive to say.
Well, Jared, real quick, have you seen? Speaking of Star Wars, have you seen The Mandalorian at all? You like the episodic content?
I haven't. I have to activate my Disney.
So good.
It's so good.
So
all right, well,
I love it.
Good. I have something to watch now.
Yeah.
Oh, dude, it's amazing. It's the best thing since Empire Strikes Back. To me, I think it's one of the best Star Wars properties that has ever come out. And then do yourself a favor and look at the YouTube videos from ILM about how they actually shoot it with that digital background that they put in live. It's unbelievable. It's unbelievable.
Right. I'll watch it. I will say, let's see, what else did I watch? I got to watch the Jim Marshall documentary. I don't know if Steven, did you watch it yet?
I haven't checked it out yet.
it's not available to rent in this country, in the United States, for whatever reason. But luckily, I talked to the director of it, and I got to watch it. And for me, it was awesome to watch it, to stream it to my big screen on my Sony projector,
my big ass projector.
You're so important. You
Very
know,
important.
director.
I do recommend that anybody can watch that if it ever shows up again and is rentable. Definitely watch that. That was good. I like Star Wars. Didn't like Jane Silent Bob Reboot. We needed something funny to watch, so I put on Jackass 3. I was looking for like Bruno, but I didn't want to spend.
They're working on Jackass 4, by the way, or they were. I don't know what they're doing now.
I wonder, is Bam Margera even capable of being in that movie?
I don't know. I think it was going to be mainly Johnny Knoxville.
Oh, really? Steve-O? I mean, Steve-O's clean.
Steve-O's still doing it. Yeah, he's good now. Wow. He's got a YouTube channel or something now where he posts a lot. Yeah.
Then HBO put up Blinded by the Light. I believe that's what it's called. Mm-hmm. It's a movie in London. It takes place outside of London about a Pakistani kid who grows up there who discovers Bruce Springsteen.
Oh, Bruce. Oh, yeah.
I thought it was a good movie. I enjoyed it.
Oh, nice. Did you see Jojo Rabbit?
No.
I did see. So my friend down the street, before this whole happened, we watched 3 movies. Like, we wanted to watch the Mr. Rogers one, Jojo Rabbit, and Parasite.
Mm-hmm.
And so we wanted to watch Mr. Rogers. That ended up being the last one because I'm like, well, everybody says Parasite's incredible. And like 2.5 hours of reading freaking subtitles will get to you after a while. Did you see Parasite?
I did. I liked it a lot I thought I would hate reading, but I
didn't
actually
hate
really
that
enjoyed
part.
it.
It was hard to enjoy. It was very painful, in my opinion. It was interesting. I don't think it was the best movie I don't think it was the best movie ever or the best movie of the year, but it was fine. It was just very painful to watch for how long it was.
Have you guys seen?
Oh, I didn't find that. Yeah, I didn't find that. But
have you seen Tiger King?
No.
It makes me uncomfortable. I watched like 30 minutes and I was like, I don't. Somebody's going to get bit and I can't do it.
It's one of those. It's so bad.
I'm not watching it.
And apparently Netflix is coming out with another episode follow-up at the end of this week, I think.
Todd, did you like Jojo Rabbit?
I did. There was a lot of it that I really liked, and it was dark in some places, and
I was hoping for more of a comedy. I think that they made the trailer think it was this comedy, and then you get into it and you're like, holy shit, this is actual drama and serious. And so
it's a mix. Yeah. It's definitely a mix. It's not straight ahead comedy for sure. Yeah.
I thought did you read what's his name? Mel Brooks, right? So Mel Brooks, I Googled to see if he had anything to do with the movie, and he didn't, but he loved it. They showed it to him, and he says the only thing is they didn't ask for permission to use Hitler. They didn't ask me for permission because of the producers. I thought that was a funny, hilarious line.
He's a funny man. Jared, I was thinking of you though. I started watching High Fidelity on Hulu.
Yeah.
The series on Hulu, I love the movie, and I was like, there's no way this series is going to be any good. Crushes. Yeah. I love it. I highly recommend it. You would love it. It's sweet and sappy, and pop culture references. It's dope. I highly recommend High Fidelity on Hulu.
I gotta check it out. I watched McMillions on HBO, which was a pretty interesting docuseries.
I started, and then I didn't like how they filmed it.
How they filmed it?
I saw it.
Personally, yeah.
Oh, it didn't take away from the story for me.
I watched Mystic Quest 2 on Apple Plus because that's about a video game developer with the guy from Always Sunny. So I was like, let me watch the video game show. I felt obligated to, and it was solid though. It reminded me of Silicon Valley. If you like Silicon Valley, it's that in a video game developer world.
Did you finish Silicon Valley, Todd?
I did. Yeah.
I did too.
I was mixed on the ending. I guess I can't do spoilers, but there were some absolutely funny, like hilarious things in the final episode, and then there were other things where it was just like painful that they chose to do what they did, but that's what they chose to do.
Yeah, I didn't like the route they went, but
same. I was mixed. Yeah, mixed feelings on that ending.
I was hoping for something else, but I did watch Ozark.
I have yet to watch season 3.
I've watched bits and pieces.
It's good. I recommend anybody out there, if you're looking for a series, there's 3 seasons, start watching Ozark.
I think Jason Bateman is an incredible actor, going from any serious role to obviously comedic roles. I think he's incredible.
And he directs a lot of those episodes.
Yep. Another one is Hunters on Amazon Prime with Pacino.
I have to watch that still.
Hunters, it's pretty good.
You
They did
the
a very
first
good job.
minute of that pilot episode.
The first 3 minutes. Todd, have you seen it?
Whatever it is, yeah. Whew.
I haven't. I saw bits and pieces. The wife watched it.
No, forget bits and pieces. I don't care what anybody does. If all you watch is the first 5 minutes of the first episode of the series, you will be left with your jaw dropped, and you'll be like, I've never seen a show start like this.
All right.
I got goosebumps just watching it.
It was incredible.
Yeah.
Are you sure it wasn't sweat drying and making you chilly?
A little bit of both.
Okay.
Then the other one is on Amazon Prime. I just started 2 episodes. The Loop.
Oh, I've seen it. I have no idea what it's about.
Exactly. I still don't. I'm 2 episodes in. I mean, I know what it's about. It's just weird. It's weird. It's science fiction stuff, and hopefully it goes somewhere. Because remember, the OA took a while to get somewhere, and then season 2 of the OA went somewhere, and then they canceled it. It has that feel like they're going to do a season, and then people are just. It's too smart for most people who like Lion King or whatever that show is called.
Tiger King.
Lion King. Lion King was already taken, so they couldn't use it. But my super highly recommended shows are Marvelous Miss Maisel, one of my all-time favorite shows in the history of shows.
Yep.
Altered Carbon season 1. I wish I could forget it and watch it again and again and again, because Altered Carbon season 1, awesome. Sex Education was funny. Have you seen that one, Todd?
No.
British. It's British. It's funny as hell. It's about this kid's mother is a sex educator. She's a sex therapist.
Is it on Hulu?
Netflix. Yeah. So his mother's a sex therapist, and then kids start asking him questions in school, and he becomes like a therapist for the kids. But they're teenagers, like high school. It's great. It's good. Another one is a German show, Milch, How to Sell Drugs Online, or How to Sell Drugs Fast.
Very nice.
No, I highly recommend that you watch How to Sell Drugs Fast.
Nice.
It's German, but watch it with the subtitles and watch it with the dubbing. The dubbing actually isn't terrible.
Yeah.
So it's about these nerds who go onto the dark web to sell drugs.
I'm familiar. Yeah.
It's pretty good. I recommend that. A Deep Cut, Red Oaks on Amazon Prime from the past.
So good.
Dope. I love that show. I love that show.
Yeah, season 1 and 2, great. Season 3, they basically were like, we need to make 6 more episodes to do something. But season 1, if you haven't seen Red Oaks, the 80s.
It's incredible.
That main character is also on Mindhunter season 2. He plays one of the serial killers. I forget which one. Son of Sam, I think he plays. Yeah.
Jared, I'm telling you, this High Fidelity on Hulu. Just listening to your list, High Fidelity on Hulu. Thank me later.
I've heard mixed opinions on that. I've heard some people say it was terrible, and some people say it was really good.
I adored it because I love the movie, and I was like, "There's no way they're going to touch that. There's no way they're going to touch it." They nail it. So I'll leave it at that. I want to see that Pete Davidson movie though. That's why I signed back up for Hulu. I want to watch his movie.
And when on Apple TV will the Beastie Boys documentary come out? Because that trailer is amazing.
Yeah, that's like the 24th or something like that. I just saw Mike D just posted like a picture of something. I think it's later this month.
Have you guys watched anything on Apple TV really? Because the only show I watched was the morning show and something else.
I tried the space show, but I gave up.
Space show I gave up after like episode 2.
The Mystic Quest is good if you like Silicon Valley, and then I would say we watched The Banker with Samuel Jackson. That was really good. I
have that on my queue waiting to watch.
Well, that was supposed to come out. That was supposed to come out, and then they pulled it. Some other stuff is on Netflix. They've got 7 Days Out. It's a show where it's like 7 days leading up to a big event, and I recommend the Coco Chanel one, the Haute Couture episode. Is mind-blowing to see the outfits that they create for these models for this show. It's that Langenfelder guy. He recently died, Carl Langenfelder or whatever his name was. But that episode is mind-blowing. The colors and everything that they come out with the clothes. I thought it was fascinating to see what goes into making a show in Paris, a Coco Chanel show.
Be cool if you wore a different shirt. Maybe you could partake of some of that.
You suck, Todd. Did you know we've got I've got stealth black now. It's black on black.
I think it actually looks pretty badass too.
We also have
a
Oreo.
raw shirt I would actually wear.
I would. Yeah, I would like to. Well, next time I see you, I would like you to wear that.
Dick. Okay, I have a couple more. I've got Kaminsky Method on Netflix, was hilarious.
Pretty solid, yeah.
Afterlife with Ricky Gervais,
list.
the first season. I don't think the second one has come out yet, but Afterlife was smart funny. Like, there were some jokes in there that left me really laughing hard. Thanks for film. Thanks, guys.
I just like you have to be like, it's smart funny.
Well, yeah. Well, there's a difference between Lion King and smart funny.
You never even saw Tiger King.
I tried. I'm just like,
But you're too smart
I'm not
for
doing
it.
this. I'm not doing it. I'm not fucking doing it.
Mm-hmm. It reminds me of like watching Home Housewives of Atlanta or something. Like, it just seems like I can't.
It's so bad, it's good.
Yeah.
Maybe because you live in Jersey, but not us.
Thank you for bringing that up. I was just about to say that.
Yeah.
Any
Sucks to have
other
a lot of land
recommendations?
and a parking spot and all that. It's terrible.
No, I think you mentioned all the stuff I've kind of seen. I mean, actually the last thing I saw in the theater was that Harley Quinn movie, which I thought was pretty bad.
Yeah, they changed the name of it.
Yeah,
they changed
did.
the name of it a week after.
They did, yeah.
Yeah, which I thought was a stupid idea. And it had a lot of characters. Like, I could have just watched Harley Quinn for 90 minutes because I think she's a good character and she plays it well, but it was just too much.
bit.ly.com/thanksfro4 Harley Quinn.
It's funny.
No.
All right, let's I'm gonna get to the final, like the ending of this and let you know I now have 3 scooters from Segway.
Why?
Because I wanted a scooter to go back and forth to the new house and then to the factory, and I couldn't find any good information on which version of the Segway. It's called 9bot Kick Scooter. There's an ES2, an ES4, and the Max. There really wasn't a lot of good content on which one you should get if you're looking at those. So I reached out to Segway 9bot, and I was like, I'd like to review these. And so they sent one, and I'm like, can you send the other 2? Because I want to make one video that helps people out there because they're priced the same. Like, the Max is $799, the ES4 is $769. So it's like, what are the differences and which should you go with and why? And I think that I can do a good job doing that. So I got a helmet.
Yeah, perfect time. Everybody needs a scooter while they're out of work and trying to buy food. So I guess 3 scooters. You having 3 scooters seemed really relevant, I guess. So yeah. What else were you saying?
You don't have to drive if you need to go somewhere. The scooters are really useful.
I was surprised that you were willing to drive it in the street because you're such a safety Sally.
How much of a dork helmet do you have?
I have Adam recommended a helmet. It's $200 for that helmet. I got it.
Will you put it on right now for me?
Do you want me to go get it?
Yes, please.
Yes,
All
please.
Right,
yes.
You guys talk.
We will.
Oh, but
we're going to talk about you. Look
though.
at that badonk right there.
Yeah.
See that?
I saw the little shelf.
He hasn't lost a step. That badonk is still there.
Look at how clean this office looks.
Is that your office?
Oh, I meant Jared's office, but this is my... So right now it's basically our storage room. We're just throwing everything in there from when we moved, and I've yet to really organize everything. But yeah, this is going to be my office eventually. Theoretically.
Here it comes.
Right now it is my makeshift office. Yes.
Just like school when you were in school,
I'm surprised
Jared.
you didn't pick like a weird color, like purple or something.
No, because they had blue, they had red, they were out of stock. I got white just in case I go at night. I want them to be able to see me and not be black, because that's if your helmet's black, you may get hit.
That's true. I thought
So
you'd have
doesn't your
purple.
scooter have any type of reflectors or anything?
The scooter actually has brake lights, so if you touch the brake, the lights and they blink red, and it has a stop and it has a LED on the front. So I don't look, there's not a lot of people on the road around here right now. And so I take Front Street, which is underneath the L. One car passes me in the mile that I go. I had like one car pass me the 3 times that I've gone to my new place. And I just, so it has three speeds. One is like tops out at 9 miles an hour. The other tops out at 15, 16. And then the super fast one takes you to 18, 19 miles an hour. And I was hesitant to do that at first, but now that I'm more confident on the scooter and just going straight down the road, I've gone into the faster mode because it just speeds up much quicker. I'll let you try it one day. It's a good way to get around.
How long does it take you to get from, like, say, your old apartment to the office? Going at ludicrous speed.
Well, I haven't done the ludicrous speed yet. I did the 16 mile per hour one. We have the GoPro. It took me under 10 minutes. It took me about 7.5 minutes to get there, which is the same amount of time roughly to drive there.
Such a dork. I can't imagine. Do you have a extra blinker on that badonk of yours so people don't bump into you? You got a great bumper.
He's got a bumper, yeah.
Actually, yes, I have reflective pants. I wear the
He's probably serious too.
And they say I shoot roll on the backside.
I wear the sequin. Thanks, Kip. I wear the that was a Kip. Was that Kip?
I don't know.
From Napoleon Dynamite. Remember when what was it? What was the Video Blocks gave me those pants?
Oh,
yeah,
those. I wear those.
Good.
Anyway, anybody else working out at home?
I've been running ever since it's been nice out, and I actually just bought a subscription to Beachbody. I plan on doing a couple workouts with that. I'm sure Jared will hate me for that.
Sean T is the man.
Dude, Sean T was actually our speaker at our graduation.
No shit.
Yeah, he graduated the same school as me.
I have the Insanity DVDs that I still use.
I bought T25 years ago when it first came out, and I used it like twice. But now I actually plan on, with being home all the time, utilizing it.
I've been on the treadmill. I haven't left the house, so I'm good.
I've been running outside.
This is a perfect world for me.
That's normal. Like, we've never left the house anyway.
The funny thing is, though, I mean, it is normal for us, like sitting at a desk all day. Like, there's this ongoing joke right now with the editor in the editor community that nothing's changed for us. We're never going to catch what's going on because we're stuck at home anyway all the time.
The only thing we're going to catch is Dorito dust and Mountain Dew calories.
We never see the outdoors anyway.
Speaking of food, I have the same lunch every day and just about the same dinner and the same breakfast every day.
So nothing's changed.
No, well, I had to adapt my
back,
cooking.
Everybody.
I'm actually a little concerned about my dinners because we've been subscribed to the HelloFresh boxes for past few years at this point, and they've still been being delivered on time, but they just sent out an email today saying that things might be changing in the next few weeks. So
like slowing down.
Yeah, they might be delayed. They might have to stop, but right now they're still cranking full speed. But they did give us a heads up.
Yeah, I used Fresh Direct to order in and to get a delivery to my dad so that he didn't have to go to the store. I got him a Fresh Direct. It takes a while. Like, you got to basically sign on around midnight to try and grab a time, if you can, because they fill up super duper fast. Or there is actually like an Acme that's a couple blocks away that if you go at the right time, there's almost nobody in there, and they've had a really good lots of chicken, lots of vegetables. So I stock up, and this is the first time I've ever had a refrigerator full of food because I went out every night usually.
Speaking of getting food, Governor Murphy here in Jersey he just mandated that everyone has to wear a mask or some type of face protection when they're going out to grocery stores or wherever. So I'm it's a little scary, now having to wear a mask.
Yeah.
I'm sure Pennsylvania will follow suit soon.
Probably.
I mean, you're probably better off to be better safe than sorry, to be honest. So
yeah, I mean, I've been doing the whole glove thing for the past few weeks, but I haven't been wearing a mask, and now we have to do both.
To me, the glove thing is like meaningless.
Well, it's meaningless if you just keep them on all the time, but if you actually make sure to take them off when you're taking your money out or whatever it may be, like, and do it the right way.
And if you're a person that wears gloves, can you please not be an asshole and throw your fucking gloves on the ground wherever you take them off? Do you know how many? There's like an Instagram. Somebody did a photo shoot of all the gloves around the city. It's a disgrace.
That's the new "don't be an asshole" for you.
Yeah. Hashtag don't be an asshole. You fucks. That's so frustrating.
It really is.
Okay.
All
Are we
right.
doing this again?
Sure. I mean,
Yeah,
who knows how
this
long
seemed
we'll be
fun.
stuck at home, so
All right. Well,
hopefully
guess
people
what
enjoy
I have to go do?
us just chatting.
Any guesses to what I have to go do?
Poop.
No, I have to pee.
Pee. Yeah.
I have to pee.
Mm-hmm.
All right, I'm going to wrap it up so we can move on, and hope you guys enjoyed the RAWtalk Reboot episode 1, I guess, or whatever. We'll figure out we got to figure out a good clickbait title so that people actually listen and watch. But you can listen to the audio too, is over on FroKnowsPhoto.com/podcast, so you can listen to the audio if you want, or you could sit here and watch and listen and do whatever. You guys want to say anything?
Hopefully we'll see him next week again. We'll see how this video turns out.
Yep. Everybody be safe out there.
Yeah, be safe for sure.
Mm-hmm.
All right, guys. Thank you very much for watching. Jared Polin, FroKnowsPhoto.com. See ya.
Bye.
Bye.